Grand day, amazing souls. How are you feeling? So, something came to me today. This is hair day. Obviously, not my hair day, but my girl's hair day. I'm doing my girl's hair today. And, when I'm sitting there doing their hair, I get downloads. I'm always getting some kind of something, some kind of nugget, right? And so I heard my father say, this is my real name, Victoria, why don't you just shut your damn lips? And and it's so crazy because I started saying it to myself. One day I'm going to shut up. I'm going to shut up one day. I'm going to stop talking. And the crazy thing is, as I'm sitting there doing my daughter's hair, so it said, no, you don't need to shut up. It wasn't righteous for them to tell you shut up. However, you're a seeker, and they never understood that because you asked questions. You've always asked questions. So this is what we need for you to do. We need you to talk. However, we need you to listen more. And I was like, huh? And the thing is, I didn't feel offended because, hey, look, I was very, very sensitive, and it took Source some time to get me here, right? Even when I would hear my higher self, I would be offended, right? But understanding that everything that comes from that inner voice is, if I'm listening to the correct voice, will be of assistance. And I'm learning to grow a thicker skin, right? I remember one day I was talking about my mom to one of my siblings, and she said, "Yeah, I see you like mom." Now the thing is, I already knew that she viewed my mom as weak, and I'm like, "What do you mean?" She was like, "Well, you know, you reminded me of mommy because you were more weaker of us." And I said, "Oh." I got offended, but I didn't because it was her perception, right? And everyone is entitled to their perception. So I just kept it pushing and kept it moving, and it really did make me look a little deeper at myself, you know, like wow, and what ways, you know, she said some things, but it just didn't make sense. So I started questioning myself. In what ways can I show more authority? In what ways can I show up more for myself? And the things that came up for me were things like stop being a people pleaser, right? Please myself first. And once you start to please yourself, then you'll know how to navigate others. Another thing, speak. Speak up for yourself. Even if my voice shakes, speak. And this is something that I've been grasping over time. Ooh, that sun is doing something to this skin. I mean, it's hitting the end levels, y'all. Feel good. Um, but it was just some things that I really started going down a rabbit hole with, and becoming a better version of myself. And now this was years ago, right? However, I've been working on this all along, and it's not up to me to change people's perception of me. You know, I had to learn to accept me. Just because other people have their perception does not mean it is a bad thing. It's just, one of those things they say you cannot say someone is something without saying it in yourself first. And when I grasped that concept, it made it easier for me to grow a thicker skin, not to take everything so offensive that people say to me, right? However, so sources like, don't shut up, listen more. So that means and listen, right? It's listening without shutting up because we listen with our ear and our inner ear. We listen with our heart. We listen with our mind, right? But the thing is, we cannot listen. I cannot listen, rather, and talk at the same time. So, That was just pure gems and wisdom that I just wanted to share, and maybe someone needed to hear that, right? And for me, I'm gonna be quite frank with y'all. I'm a know-it-all. I'm a know-it-all because I do know some things. However, sources like, well, wisdom is knowing when to shut the fuck up. More subtle, however, that's the gist. So, yeah, if you haven't heard it today, I love you. I love me. I love us. I love we. Keep on diving into yourself. You'll see how much you love yourself. Peace. Have an amazing rest of your day.